أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أفرأيت الذي تولى وأعطى قليلا وأقضى عنده علم الغيب فهو يرى أم لم ينبأ بما في صحف موسى وإبراهيم الذي وفى ألا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى عند صدق الله العلي العظيم. Ninth class lecture number 9. I would like to say you some points before delivering some important precious informations. Do you like a class in which many different students are sitting in one class? One class ninth student, one student belong to 10th class, one student belong to second year class, one student belong to first year class, and you are sitting in a classroom. The teacher will feel easier to teach all students, all class students sitting together at one place. Yes, your answer is not. It's very difficult, because when he will going to teach second year knowledge, the ninth class will tell, sir, this is a second year topic. When he is going to deliver the lecture to ninth class topic, the ninth class to second year class, sir, this is a very simple knowledge. We belong to second year class. So what is the solution college do? What is the solution any type of management group do? They adjust similar people in a similar group. 11 years age people, kids, they will be in the same room. Ninth class will be in one room, 10th class will be in one room. So it means that what the manager was doing, what was the problem? Problem was that the different grades people were gathered together at one place, and it was very difficult to handle those. So what was the solution? Ninth class students were arranged in one class, 10th class students were arranged in other class. It means what the term you will use for this. The manager started classification. He did classification. He classified the individual on the basis of their level. For example, the doctors will be in one class. They will be in medical college. Engineer will be in engineering college. Medical section FSC will be in one class. The engineering section FSC will be in another class. Why? Because classification is very necessary. How do you solve this problem of guiding the kids? Classify. We classify. You just promoted from 8th to 9th class. What was my question to you? What was the computer teacher Sir Shehbaz's question to you? That you will select computer or bio. It means we were classifying you. That you will come in biology. I will teach you. You will go to a computer section. The respected Shehbaz sir will teach you. It means that we were classifying. We'll go back to the topic. Why I am telling you classification is my topic. My conversation proved that today topic is classification. Definitely I am going to teach you classification. Before that, you can see my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. The reason is that if you want to ask any question about the lecture, you can contact him. Mobile number will also be mentioned in the clip, and you can see my these both things, and your question and answers, discussions will be very important. Feedback will be also very important. You just come to this, enjoy, and tell me your questions, and I will be in touch with you by that way. So classification, taxonomy is the classification point I raised today, that classification is essential. The provincial ministers will sit in a different meeting, and the federal ministers will sit in the different meeting, because what the government of Pakistan was doing, what the prime minister was doing, he was classifying. 4 provinces of Pakistan, classification. So until you will not classify animals and plants, you will not be able to study them. If we are unable to classify human beings, we are unable to teach them, we are unable to get work from them. They cannot perform their duties. So how we can classify? Without classification, we are unable to study animal and plants. Animal group collectively called plants group collectively called flora, animal groups, all animals collectively called the fauna. So straightforward, I told you classification. We arrange all animals together together in a group, flora, and the plants group in a flora, animals group in a fauna. So why you are going to arrange the animals group? You are telling they are fauna and plants group in a flora. Reason, easier to study, easier to study. So in this chapter we will classify animal and plants. This classification will not be simple one. It will start from small group, it will go to large group. You will classify the things, you will classify the province, you will classify the classes, you will classify your subjects, you will classify your jobs, you will classify your even all type of activities of the day. It is very easier. Allah Ta'ala classified, this is Fajr pray, this is Zohr pray. Holy Quran has been classified, this is para number 1, this is para number 2. Classification in our life is indispensable to study, is indispensable to learn. So it means that we have to classify animals and plants, and we will study the branch of the biology, taxonomy. Students, you are watching the word, the taxonomy. So I will label that, yes, of course. That black pointer is telling me the term, and you are also watching taxonomy, taxonomy. So what I was talking about, classification of the plants, the classification of the animals. When you will classify animals and plants, what you are doing, you are studying taxonomy. If you are able to classify plants and animals, in which specialist you are, which type of biologist you are taxonomist, taxonomist. So you are going to classify the animal and the plant on the basis of this. Second slide which I want to show you, systemics. Don't see my picture, my son, see the systemic. Don't see this one. You will be able to see. You are watching, you are watching us in college all the time. You see this one. Okay, ji, go back. Systemic, S-Y-S-T-E-M-I-C, systemics. I would like to tell you, did you ask to your father about grandfather sometime? My father, please tell me how my grandfather look like. And if your grandfather is alive, you are lucky if your grandfather is alive, because you know in this era less people have aged people are decreasing day by day due to some problems. But if your grandfather, I hope they are alive. Okay, if you are talking to grandfather and you are telling, you are asking to grandfather, my grandfather, did you know your father, mean that father of grandfather. So what will he will ask? Of course, their living style was very different. Their living style was very simple. I will tell you, they will speak these sentences. They are villagerian. They have the villagerian lifestyles. It means your grandfather will say, we were living in village and we were living in the village. We were without even electricity and we were not drinking even clean water. But our intentions were holy. We were very obedient to the parents. But now the internet is on, the media is on, the social media is there. So as the facilities are more, you people are not more concentrated. At least he will tell you one thing, that there is a change in the lifestyle. He will not say that in that day the internet was there, the social media was there, the facilities were more. He will tell you that there is a huge difference between the lifestyle of today and the lifestyle of your grandfather. So what the grandfather is telling you, change in lifestyle. I just want to convey you one point. You are listening my conversation, you can repeat this conversation. I am not just giving you example. My one example will not be useless. Whatever the example I will give you, I will just remove a term from that example. If you will not be able to understand example, if you will just take it as example or entertainment, you will not be able to understand a term which I just want to explain. What is the term I just want to explain? Systemic. It means your grandfather living style was different. example, Holy Prophet was living in an era in which some simple things. Now the humans of Holy Prophet era were physically different, anatomically different, morphologically different, physically different, character-wise different, because and even our system, our digestive system in that level was, their digestive system was different, that was able to absorb even more vegetarian foods. Now currently digestive system is unable to absorb those vegetarian food. It similarly, currently the heart attacks are too much, our hearts are becoming weak day by day, cholesterol level is being increased day by day. Similarly, the age were more in the past, the ages were less in the current era, and it mean the immunity level was even little bit increased in this era. Reason is that we are taking some antibiotics, we are taking some vaccination, medical science has been discovered. So it means that faces were being changed, height level, that if you are listening the story of the Islamic stories, so you can see that how many aged people were there in that time. So it means that this is called evolution. The term I introduced, evolution. What is the evolution? The living things which are living 100 years back, 200 years back, the 500 years back, they will be little different from the human beings or the living things or the animals or the plants who are living in the current era. It means 5 years will not be the much difference. The 50 years, 100 years difference. If your eye can see 100 years back, one species, one type of animal, that animal will be exactly same animal, belonging to same species. Don't worry about the species. Don't worry about the species term I have to explain. You will feel the different animal after 100 years, same animal. Mean that same animal belong to same species. Grandfather will be different, the son will be different. Why? The living style will be different, habitat will be different. It means that animal changes their character, changes their function with the passage of the time. Mean that 100 years back, 500 years back, species I will define, then I will be able to explain this taxonomy better, because species mean one group of animal. Mean I am talking about humans, that is one species. I am talking about rats, that belong to one species. Frog is one species. Lion is one species. I say species lion, I talk about lion. The lion which is 500 years back in this world, that lion, if you will see inner anatomy, internal structure, that structure will be totally different. Not totally but partly will be different, that structure which is currently present. So it means that we should work. So that structure which is present in the current era. So what is the evolution? So evolution definition I have told you, students. What is the evolution? With the passage of time, each animal develop some changes. Question is, why they develop the changes? Why they develop the changes? Why they develop the changes? They develop the changes due to some reasons. What are the reasons? What is the reason they develop the changes? Because the habitat in which they are living, the environment in which they are living, maybe the plants are more, and the feeding style, the food they are eating, according to their requirement, they will change their character. For example, I will tell you, giraffe, the animal in the zoo you have seen. The giraffe, when the trees will be with less height, the neck will be small. This is a true example of evolution, because I am not going to teach you evolutionary theories, because those you will study in the senior level. When the tree's height will be more, what will happen? The necks will automatically increase. Automatically mean genetically, mean with the passage of the time. I told you evolution never mean that evolution will be in 100 years. Evolution never mean it will be in 50 years. It will be after significant period of the time. The animals will develop, come here, animals will develop the changes, those changes which will occur, due to which evolution occur. And after the evolution, what will happen? Inner changes, anatomy, internal structure, morphology, external structure of the animals will be different of the current era with the back era. 100 years back, same animal will have little different structures. After 100 years, similar animal will evolve, will develop some new techniques. I will tell you some structures in the future which are present even in the human body, and those are vestigial. Vestigial mean the functions without work. Functions, the structure without function. vestigial organ. Appendix situated with the large intestine. Don't worry about this one, because these words you will listen so many times, because this is just your start. Vestigial organ, I am telling you, VESTIGIEAL, vestigial organs. Appendix is the vestigial organ. What is the meaning of vestigial organ? The organs without function. Now, do you think that the organs which are without function, the nature can make those structures which are without function? No, nature cannot make. So it means that vestigial organs may be used, that is theory, because that you will listen in different theories, may be used in the past, and now because feed change, diet change, habitat change, temperature change, the air constituent change, to mean that appendix is not currently working. The species is the word you are watching. First of all, I will define the species. Don't worry about the vestigial organ, that is not the topic now. Okay, you will study in the next classes. Don't worry about the evolution so many times I will teach you, because that will come by the time. I am going to introduce you a term which is a species. What is the species? Easiest way, a group of similar animals. Cat is one species, lion is one species, and the birds, no, birds are many types. Sparrows, you can say one species, of course. The crow, the one species. Now it is very difficult to define a species, because the simple definition is that group of the species, a group of the similar animals, but there are some conditions. The condition is mentioned here. If you will see this one, interbreed, I do. Interbreed mean that they must able to produce offspring mean the kids. So it means that the animals and the plants, if they are able to produce the kids, they are able to fertilize, they are able to reproduce, it means they are belonging to same species. That is the exact criteria of the definition of the species. So what is the exact criteria of the definition of the species? They must interbreed. The word you will remember, interbreed. Don't worry about the word interbreed spelling, just you need to listen. Meaning is very simple. They need to fertilize. Fertilization means, you know, that male and female sperm gametes will fertilize. The reproduction, they must reproduce, and they must have the combination of the gametes. They must have a combination of gamete, and they must form the zygote, and they must be able to produce the offspring similar like the parents. So this definition will tell you the idea, interbreed. Now I will go back to once again the systemic. What is the systemic? Systemic, students, I will tell you. Now, when you are classifying the animal and plants, I want your attention. I think this is the key point of today. If you are going to understand today's this my point, classification will be a very good topic for you. You know, classification is little bit not much technical, because after that very much technical top chapters are coming. Digestive system is coming, cell divisions are coming, cell structure and function. So I am just making your mind. These are general information I am giving you. Therefore, you need to understand the key concept which I am going to give you. When I will classify the animal and the plant on the basis of evolution, mean that I am not classifying this is 9th class student, this is no, I am just taking history of that plants and animal, back history of plants and animals. Fossils mean dead remains. I am studying dead remains of plants and animals, and then I am just observing chemically which chemicals they were composed of, which type of chemicals in that time. The sequence of DNA I am studying. I am studying 500 years back animal. I am comparing that animal with the current animal. It means that I am classifying animal on the basis of their ancestor, grandfathers. I was talking common ancestor. Above was the grandfather, ancestor. So if we are classifying on the basis of common ancestor, and we are just studying their DNA and comparing with the current DNA, and then we are classifying the animals into the group. Such classification is called systemic. Yes, students, now species can interbreed. Yes, this was my topic today. Now I will tell you the term, which is the